Hey everybody, good day. It's Dr. Bruce Guillory here with Health Source Chiropractic in Atascocita, Texas, coming to you on Thursday, November 12th of 2020, the never-ending year 2020. Whew, all right. It's been a tough one so far this year, I know, on a lot of us. So we're going to get through this together, though. We're going to make sure we help you get through this together. Today, guys, I've got, as usual, I've got my typical tips that I want to give you, my health and wellness tips for the day. I've got some updates and some great stuff happening here at the office, so hang on to toward the end there. And of course, if you're receiving this via email, you're going to see at the bottom we have once again a healthy recipe of the week. This one is pizza stuffed peppers. So for you guys that love pizza, but you know you don't want to eat the gluten and you know you don't want to eat the bread and blah, 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 we have a solution for you, okay? So we've got a great one at the end there that you'll want to click on and you'll want to take a look at that and put it to use in your household. So anyhow, again, Thursday, November 12th, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 or 4 top rules for eating. 3 or 4 top rules for eating, okay? Number one rule that I want you to think about is to stop drinking sugar. Stop drinking sugar. And you think, okay, well, Dr. G, I don't drink Coca-Cola. Hey, good for you. I'm glad you don't. Okay. I don't drink root beer. I don't drink Dr. Pepper. Or I drink diet. First of all, let me just tell you, if you're drinking diet, you might as well be drinking the real thing because you're pouring toxins in your body that you just really don't even need. And there are studies that show that using those sugar substitutes really don't stop your cravings for sugars and can accentuate them a little bit and make you want to crave the bad junk anyhow. So get off of that poison anyhow. Remember too, basic rule is there's only 2 things that happen when you eat or drink something. You either nourish yourself or you poison yourself. Nourish or poison. Which one do we want to do, right? Okay, here we go. So stop drinking your sugar. I want to point out to you that if you're getting up in the morning and you're having a glass of orange juice, you're drinking sugar. If you're giving your kids apple juice, they are drinking sugar. And I want you to know that when you consume sugar in that way in a liquid form, it just shoots into your bloodstream so much quicker and jacks up your blood sugar levels so rapidly. It's horrible for you, and it just causes you to pack on pounds. It causes massive inflammation in your body, and that leaves you susceptible to diseases and illnesses. So please, please stop drinking your sugar. You do not need to be drinking soft drinks. You do not need to be drinking orange juice. If you want to have any juice whatsoever, I would highly recommend that you consider only real juicing and mainly juicing vegetables. Some of you that know me know that I juice on occasion. And when I juice, I want you to know there's like 1 apple in there and the rest is vegetables. Okay. Yes, there's sugar in there too, but there's a lot of great nutrients. It is not the same as drinking orange juice, especially, man, I did this one time and I took a picture of it and posted it. I took an apple one time and I juiced it. And I held up a cup of my apple juice. And then I took apple juice from a bottle and I held it up. It looks way different. And if you look at the ingredients on the apple juice canister, it's got all kind of weird things listed in there that aren't apple juice. If you look at my glass of apple juice that I made, it was apple juice. That's all it was. Please stop drinking your sugars. Please quit giving your kids what you think is healthy, apple juice, whatever it is, for their drinks. Please stop doing that, all right? Number 1. And number 2 is make sure you eat real foods and throw out the factory foods. What do I mean by that? Get away from those ultra-processed, junky garbage. That's bad carbs. That is garbage, right? Garbage. Get away from that kind of stuff and try to make sure that you're not dealing with all that junky, poisonous stuff. Again, when you look at it, if you look at a ingredients list on something you're buying at the store and there's a ton of ingredients on there and you can't even pronounce some of them, realize that is way on the poison yourself side of the spectrum and way away from the nourish yourself spectrum. Check those lists and look at them, and if there's a ton of junk in there, actually food should only have 1 ingredient. Food, whatever it is. Apple, okay. Celery, spinach. That's all it should have in it, really, to be honest with you. So keep that in mind. Other things you want to stay away from is factory farmed animals. This is for health reasons too, but this is also just for, gosh, let's be nice to these animals type things. If you ever have seen what goes on in these factory farming of animals, it's pretty grotesque how they get treated. It's pretty horrendous. And no wonder this meat that we get that is factory farmed, no wonder that this meat that we get, whether it's chicken, beef, pork, or whatever, is unhealthy for us because those animals are unhealthy when they slaughter them. And then we're eating unhealthy meat. One of my great friends in the wellness world is Dr. James Chestnut, and he has a great saying that says, meat is not bad for us, but bad meat is bad for us. So remember that. Bad meat is bad for you. So stay away from that. So Stay away from the factory farmed processed foods that you can store on your pantry for forever. Stay away from the factory farmed animals for for nice reasons and for health reasons also. Now, another thing you want to do is make sure that you eat no later than about 2 hours before you go to bed. Some people would even say earlier. I know some people are into intermittent fasting where they really won't eat much for an extended period of time, and they'll do all their eating in a shorter, smaller window of time, and they may not have a dinner at night actually, or they may eat something around 5 o'clock and not eat again until 8 o'clock the next morning or something like that. So yeah, an eating sunset, if you will. Get rid of eating very late at night. It's hard for your body to digest that food, especially when you go to sleep at night and your body is trying to shut down and repair. You've thrown food into your belly, and that makes your body have to work on digestion a whole lot more. Let's stop doing that. So that's another great rule for eating. And the last rule I would point out is I would like to say to please make sure you learn how to eat like your favorite philosopher. Our favorite philosophers usually lived several hundred to several thousand years ago. And guess what they didn't have back then? They didn't have factory farm food. They didn't have highly processed, super processed garbage to eat on a regular basis. You know what? They didn't eat all day long either because they didn't have these things called refrigerators. So the reality is you should really start thinking about eating like your great grandparents ate before all this industrialization stuff came along. And they were focused on eating real foods. They couldn't store foods for long periods of time. They didn't have ingredients to put into food to store it for long periods of time. So what they ate was real, it was fresh, and it was not drinking of sugars and any of that kind of stuff because they didn't have the ability to process things like that. Okay? Just stuff for you guys to think about, the rules for eating. Remember that and share this video with someone if you think it's worthwhile. It's really good for helping you, A, lose weight, but B, most importantly, just become more healthy. Remember, I always try to tell people, listen, if you're trying to lose weight, let's just focus on getting healthy. Let's focus on getting healthy. If we focus on getting healthy, what's going to happen is if you need to lose weight, you're going to lose weight, right? And that's kind of what happened with me over the last year or so. I really started cleaning up even more, kind of tweaking and fine tuning and changing my eating habits even more, and my exercise habits too, my lifestyle habits in general. And I was focused on getting healthy. But you know what? I lost an inch or two in my waist. I lost some weight too. And now I hover at a weight that I thought was going to be too light for me, but it's where I am when I eat normally. That's where I stay. So that's where I'm supposed to be, right? So focus on health and wellness, focus on attaining wellness. You will lose weight at that point if you need to be losing weight. All right, guys? All right, so there's our tips for the day. Hope you enjoyed that. Remember to click below for the recipe of the week. It is the pizza stuffed peppers. And I want you to know there's a couple of really cool announcements that I want to talk to you about. Three. One is we are continuing to use our Mojo Feet scanner all the time on our patients that have low back and hip and knee problems. I will tell you that when I first started thinking about bringing this into our practice, I shifted into going ahead and just taking a glance at all of my patients' feet. I started having the new patients take off their shoes, stand on the floor, let me see what their feet look like, and I was shocked at the number and the amount of what I call funky feet I would see. Feet that are really problematic, and I know how that can contribute to ankle, knee, hip, and low back problems. So I got a feel for the fact that there were going to be some people that really did need this. So that's when we brought it in. And let me tell you, we're having some great results with our patients who are starting to wear the orthotics that we've been doing for about the past month. And we probably have, 15 to 20 people at this point that we've scanned that have gotten orthotics, and we're getting some great results with it. We're super excited about it. We're going to continue to look at all of our low back pain, all of our patients that have any pain from the low back down to the feet. We're going to look at your feet and do a scan on you and see if it's a contributing factor, because we want to make sure we address some of the root causes of your back pain or your hip pain or whatever it may be. That's doing great. I want to tell you about, in less than 2 weeks, actually 2 weeks from today, Thanksgiving's here. That's craziness in my opinion. But here's the deal. The Tuesday before that is our Patient Appreciation Day, which we lovingly term Pies for Patients. If you've been around the last couple of years, you know we've given out pies to all of our patients. And we gave out, 65 pies last year, something like that. Some crazy, cool, fun number. Our way of saying thank you for you guys being part of our family of patients. We appreciate you. We love having the opportunity to serve you and your family. And then, of course, if you've been around the last couple of years, you knew we usually had this huge spread of food on our Patient Appreciation Day. We're not doing that this year because of this little thing called COVID that's running around. But we will still have you'll be happy to hear this part, we'll still have our cornhole game out there because we're going to ask you to pay a couple of bucks to play it. We're going to use that money to help us contribute to buying some Thanksgiving dinners for some families that are struggling. So that's kind of a cool thing, a unique way to give back to our community, right? So that's good. And of course, if you win at the cornhole game, you get the opportunity to toss a good old creamy, that spray cream stuff, whipped cream pie right in my face. Happened to me 8 times last year. I hope we don't beat that record, but if we do, it's going to be fun. And so we'll be doing the pieing of Dr. Bruce in the face again this year. So please come out and join us for that. If you've not already signed up for it, we really need to get a head count ahead of time. So do me a favor, call us, ring, ring, let us know you're coming in that day. Let's get a time for you so that I can know how many pies I need to be ordering. Okay, guys? That's Tuesday, November 24th, Pies for Patients Day, our Patient Appreciation Day. Okay? All right, last thing I want to talk to you about is I've alluded to it a couple of different times recently that we have been looking at yet another piece of equipment to bring into the office to better serve our community. And in the next 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that time frame, depending on how long it takes them to get it prepped and shipped to me, we will have a decompression table. Yeah, we're going to have a decompression table. And it is one of the latest generations, one of the greatest one of the most advanced forms of decompression table. We're super excited about what it's going to do. It's unlike most any other decompression table out there. Health Source went around and looked at all the decompression companies out there and picked out the best one they could possibly find, just like with our CBD oil and CBD creams. They picked out the best one that they could find, and we're going to be working with them, and we're going to have a decompression table in our office sometime between the end of this month and the beginning of next month. So we're super excited about that. So people who have herniated discs, bulging discs, degenerative discs, we're going to have sciatic issues. We're going to have a whole new way, an additional way of treating you. So we're pumped about that. We're pumped to be able to serve our community in a brand new way and be able to provide more opportunity for help people to get healthy from back, leg, and neck pain without having to use drugs or surgery. Hey, that's about it for today. Do me a favor, if you get half a chance, share this video with some of your friends and family. Share it on your social media platforms if you would too. I'd appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday, November 24th for Pies for Patients Day. Don't forget to call us, and we'll catch up with you guys again in about a week. Have an amazing Thursday and an amazing rest of your week. Take care now.